fabled heat, where magic meets desire. Subscribe to ignite the fantasy.
Khet sat at the far end of the impossibly long, ornate table, feeling the weight of expectation and suspicion pressing down on me. My fingers, calloused and scarred from years of wielding a sword, traced the cool, smooth surface of the polished wood. Each intricate carving felt like a secret pressed against my skin, whispering tales of elven kings and forgotten power. Vines of silver and gold twisted around depictions of ancient battles, and the faces of long-dead rulers seemed to watch my every move. The Elf King's court was a viper's nest of alliances, a place where a careless word could be more deadly than a blade, and tonight the air tasted like deception, thick and cloying like overripe fruit. As a member of the Golden Horde, a warrior clan known for its unwavering loyalty and brutal efficiency, I was here to uncover the source of the fires plaguing the kingdoms of Eldoria and Silverwood. But I found myself increasingly distracted by the man at the heart of the investigation, the one man who threatened to unravel my carefully constructed composure. The feast, a hollow celebration of peace between Eldoria and Silverwood, was a cacophony of forced laughter and the incessant clinking of crystal glasses. Servants in shimmering silks moved between the tables, offering platters piled high with roasted pheasant, glazed fruits, and steaming breads. The scent of spiced wine, heavy with cinnamon and cloves, and roasted meats did little to mask the underlying tension. It clung to the back of my throat, a metallic tang of unease. I couldn't shake the feeling that we were all puppets, manipulated by unseen hands in a dangerous game. My gut, honed by years of survival in the harsh steppes of the Horde lands, screamed at me to be wary. It had never steered me wrong. I took a slow sip of my wine, the ruby liquid doing little to soothe the knot tightening in my chest. The dragonborn elf, he was absent. A hollow ache settled in my chest, a cold emptiness that had taken root since I'd last seen him hours ago. His usual sardonic smile, the one that hinted at a hidden depth of knowledge and a playful disregard for courtly etiquette, was missing. The way his eyes, the color of molten gold, seemed to strip away pretense and see directly into your soul, gone. The subtle heat that radiated from his skin when we were close, a warmth that felt both comforting and dangerous, was absent. I scanned the room, my gaze snagging on Ganul, the stoic dwarven blacksmith, and Mathana, the nimble Sylvani scout, deep in conversation with Lord Valerius, a particularly ostentatious Eldorian noble known for his greed and ambition. Valerius's rings glittered with stolen wealth, and his smile was as sharp as a shard of glass. But my attention kept drifting back to the empty space where Is should be. He was supposed to be here, overseeing the security arrangements, subtly questioning the guests. His absence felt deliberate. I hadn't expected to feel this asterisk. A pull, raw and insistent, that had nothing to do with duty and everything to do with the way Is's hand brushed mine during training exercises, the casual intimacy of it sending a jolt through my arm. The way his voice lowered when he shared a secret, a conspiratorial whisper that made me feel like I was the only person in the world who mattered. The way his gaze lingered just a fraction too long, assessing, considering, and something more. It was reckless, dangerous, and utterly consuming. I, a warrior of the Golden Horde trained to suppress emotion and prioritize duty, was losing myself in the depths of an elf's eyes. I needed to find him, not just to solve the mystery of the fires, but to what? I didn't dare finish the thought. To ask if this feeling was mutual would be a betrayal of everything I stood for. To act on it would be madness. I pushed back from the table, the heavy chair scraping against the polished floor. The sound seemed to amplify in the sudden hush that had fallen over the hall. Conversations died mid-sentence and heads turned in my direction. I ignored them, my focus narrowed to a single point, finding Is. I began to move through the crowded room, weaving between tables laden with food and dodging the curious glances of the assembled nobles. The air grew colder as I moved deeper into the castle, the scent of wine and roasted meat replaced by the damp, earthy smell of ancient stone. Suddenly a tremor ran through the hall, stronger than before. The crystal glasses rattled violently on the tables, some toppling and shattering, sending shards of glass scattering across the floor. A low growl, like the earth itself was in pain, echoed from the depths of the castle, vibrating in my bones. It wasn't the sound of an animal, it was something older, more primal. I rose fully, my hand instinctively reaching for the hilt of my sword, the familiar weight of the steel a small comfort in the growing chaos. The murmurs of the guests escalated into panicked cries. Then I saw him, Is standing in the grand doorway leading to the castle's inner sanctum, his face pale, his usually vibrant eyes blazing with a strange, unsettling light. It wasn't the golden warmth I knew so well. This was a cold, ethereal glow like starlight reflected on ice. He wasn't alone. A figure cloaked in shadow stood beside him, the hood obscuring their face. The air around them crackled with a power I'd never encountered before, a dark energy that sent a shiver down my spine. It felt ancient, malevolent, and utterly terrifying. The scent of ozone filled the air, sharp and acrid. Issa's gaze met mine, and in that single, charged moment, a wave of dread washed over me. I saw a flicker of desperation in his eyes, a silent plea for help, and a terrible, unspoken warning. I knew with a certainty that chilled me to the core that everything was about to change. The fires weren't just a mystery anymore, they were a symptom, and whatever stood beside Is was the disease.